The city of Tulsa will be in the national spotlight next weekend on C-SPAN2 and C-SPAN3. Crews were recently in town as part of their 2015 C-SPAN Cities Tour. Photojournalist Tim Carson went along to find out why the Public Affairs Network chose Tulsa.
Faith, family, and education.
The C-SPAN Cities Tour is here in Tulsa this week, producing programming for our Book TV and American History TV networks. The C-SPAN Cities Tour is our initiative to get outside of Washington, D.C., where we're based, and produce programming that highlights the literary life and the history of cities around the country. So we're in Tulsa this week to interview historians on stories such as Cyrus Avery and the history of Route 66, Black Wall Street, where we're standing right now, and the 1921 race riots, as well as your oil history. And then in addition to that, we're also producing programming for C-SPAN's Book TV that highlights the local literary scene and nonfiction authors.
This incident on an elevator.
Everything that we produce while we're here in Tulsa is going to air on what we're calling our special Tulsa Weekend on C-SPAN2 and C-SPAN3. That is on April 4th and 5th. We also look for cities that have a rich history, which of course you do, and a strong literary community.
And for those of us who write, it is so wonderful to be in a city that nurtures the writing experience.
I've really been taken by how strong that literary community is here in Tulsa with organizations like Booksmart Tulsa, like the Oklahoma Center for Poets and Writers. And so we definitely had our work cut out for us in choosing which stories to cover. We visited Oklahoma City in the past, and so you can also watch that programming from a previous year on cspan.org. I've been saying to everyone here that I think Tulsa is America's best kept secret. It really is a gem. When we first heard that we were coming to Tulsa, we wondered what we would find here. And then as we started doing our research, it was just story after story after story. And then in addition, just personally, I've loved being in your community. People here are friendly. It reminds me of growing up in West Virginia, just that sort of community feel, that looking out for one another. While we're here, as part of the C-SPAN Cities Tour, we're going to be doing history programming for our American History TV that airs on C-SPAN3 for 48 hours every weekend. So that's going to include Black Wall Street and the 1921 race riots. It's going to include the history of Native Americans here in Oklahoma as told through the eyes of the Perryman family at Perryman Ranch. You have this beautiful Art Deco architecture here in Tulsa, and I cannot get enough of it. I haven't been shy about how much that I love this Art Deco architecture. To walk outside my hotel and be in your downtown with all of those details, you really do feel like you're stepping into a different era. I love that's preserved here, and we're going to take a look at that as well, and sort of how the oil industry and how Art Deco architecture both rose in Tulsa at the same time. We're also going to be covering Route 66, so we're going to be getting our kicks on Route 66, as the song says. Cyrus Avery had the idea for the Mother Road right here in Tulsa, and we're going to be covering that and driving a little portion of that as well with historian and author Michael Wallace.